Chronic pain is a pervasive condition that affects 50 million American adults worldwide, or over 20% of the population. 20 million, or 7% of American adults, live with high-impact pain that limits their life or their work activities. The National Pain Advocacy Center states that 1 in 6 people live in pain every day. Chronic pain is the leading cause of long-term disability in the U.S., and our nation actually spends around $635 billion on medical treatments for chronic pain patients. Chronic pain can significantly reduce the quality of life, cause co-occurring disorders such as anxiety, depression, trauma, insomnia, low self-esteem, and many more. Pain is often underestimated and untreated, and many groups experience greater pain and barriers to care. Access is often listed and limited in rural or poverty areas. Unfortunately, we also forget to consider children's pain and experience and how it affects their life. For children experiencing pain, their perspectives of the healthcare system and feeling safe lie in the hands of those who treat them for their discomfort. It's so important to be mindful and pay attention, and to demonstrate compassionate and nurturing support when little ones go through painful moments in the hospital and in healthcare settings. Pain is a human issue. It can affect anyone despite their gender, ethnicity, race, sexual identity, or age. Pain is also said to disproportionately affect women, more so than other sexes. And in some studies, up to 70% of biological women experience chronic pain. It's sad because people often don't believe their pain exists or if it's real, and they view it entirely as somatic, when this might not be the case. The military or veterans are also affected by chronic pain and have certain healthcare systems in play to help treat their conditions, yet they often don't get the care they're supposed to have for many different reasons. Some medical conditions cause pain that affect people of color specifically, and people of color are more likely to have their pain rated lower by clinicians, or they're perceived to be seeking out drugs. And of course, we come to the idea of aging. Older people experience a significant amount of pain and live with much discomfort. It's so important to increase various treatments related to supporting individuals with pain. And in combination with Western medicine treatments, Eastern medicine supports can be helpful for those experiencing distress. Complementary alternative medicine practices such as yoga, qigong, reflexology, chiropractic care, acupuncture, dry needling, physical therapy, infrared sauna, swimming, stretching, going to sound healings, doing Reiki sessions. All of these practices can be so helpful for those experiencing chronic pain. And in this short segment, we have 2 people that would like to share their story. One is a professor experiencing chronic pain, and her story incorporates how her life is, the challenges she faces, and what she hopes to change in the future. You also get to hear my story, how I developed chronic pain, and how I hope to change others' perspectives of those experiencing chronic pain. I hope you enjoy.
I've had severe chronic pain for about 2 years now. I think the hardest part for me is like accepting it, and then not only that, I have panic a lot, wondering if this is what life is like now, or if it's gonna go away. Both. The mental stress of the pandemic was already kind of eating away at my person. So the pain just kind of like spiked that. And so like saying that I've been with severe chronic pain for 2 years, I've also been feeling borderline mentally insane for almost 2 years. What does that look like for me in society? So as a professor, I have a lot of accountability. I have a lot of responsibility with like, not only like teaching, but like off hours, like with students and with meetings and like with, favors. And I feel like I tell people over and over again that I'm dealing with chronic pain, that like I can barely walk. And I feel like people don't listen. And it's like, okay, but you're still expected to be a person just like everyone else, and I don't know what that looks like, right? So I guess because I can walk sometimes, even though it's really painful, so I feel like I guess maybe people don't see the worst of it. People don't see when it's 3:00 in the morning and I wake up because I'm in pain, and then like my panic anxiety spirals, and then I'm like, I can't live like this, and I have all these compulsive thoughts. That's the hardest part, is the way that it eats away on your mind. But yeah, I mean, I guess the lack of support is like, I feel like I tell people all the time, and it's not seen at all, right? It's just like, all right, well, buck up, look at the bright side or whatever. Like there's all these gaslighting phrases that people say all the time, right? I like have 1,010,000 supplements. That's like, I'm trying all of these. I did like all the meds, right? I took ibuprofen for God knows how long, right? The 800 milligrams. I've taken so many medications, from gabapentin to muscle relaxers to this muscle relaxer to that muscle relaxer to Xanadine Flexeril, medicine to sleep. Medicine. I have the Vistaril, Xanax, Valium, anxiety stuff, right? Here's this for depression because you're dealing with that too. So like my pantry's full of like Oxyvis, what is it? The Percocet, the Norco, the Fioricet, there's a grand list, right? I now have on my shelf here, I have all these like herbal, I'm doing homeopathic stuff. So I started Kratom just this week, and it has been amazing for my sleep. So I'm on vitamin E. I chew up zinc, 6 of them during the day. I'm on these other things called Fields of Flowers. I'm on something else for my hormones. So I'm on all these. I'm doing homeopathic stuff now. I still take Vistaril sometimes if I have a little panic spell at night, but I'm just trying to get off of meds because I just see that. Okay, so it's like, okay, so it's been 2 years of that. Okay, and then so what does that look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
Hi, my name's Michelle, and I suffer from chronic pain on a daily basis. I was a gymnast for over a decade, a ballerina, a dancer, and I loved what I did when I was younger. I had a lot of injuries. I had a lot of painful experiences through physical therapy and trying to figure out how to heal my body and perform at the same time. But I never considered the effects that it would have on me as I grew up, as I aged. And so here I am at 34 years old, and every single day that I wake up, I hurt. And people around me, if they don't know me, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't be able to tell unless they look in my eyes, and then they would see that something's up, that something might not be aligned in my system, that I might be experiencing discomfort. And so I have disc bulges in C5, C6 in my neck that often pinch a nerve, that causes cervical radiculopathy, which shoots down the side of my right arm, sometimes down the upper part of my spine. And I also have a bulging disc at L4, S5 in my lower back that spaces out in both directions. And I have a bulging herniated discs in L5S1 with a tear inside of the disc space, which causes chronic burning nerve pain in and out my iliac region and hips. Soon to have an injection, a caudal epidural in the lower spine area to hopefully try and help. I did also have a nerve root block injection in my neck. So all of this to say, how does this affect my life? I'm a therapist. I have the honor and pleasure of supporting people who also experience chronic pain and anxiety. And I really get their stories because I experience it too. And I really hope to transform chronic pain in many different ways through alternative medicine practices, in addition to Western practices, of course, because I do think that Western medicine is super beneficial and helpful. I know it helped me tremendously, but I want to spread the word on how to help the body through practices of mindfulness and compassion and energetic supports that often go unseen or unnoticed or unheard of. So that's where I lie in my story. There's a long way to go. There's a lot to do. There's a lot for me to learn. There's a lot for me to teach others. There's a lot for others to teach me. But here I am sharing. Do you know anybody with chronic pain? And if so, how will you support them on their journey as they go through this? Think about it.